It's another wonderful edition of Beer With, and we're getting a little extra cheesy today, but we're on a beautiful patio. As always, we're on a hot streak of not only pre-recording these interviews so we can enjoy a beer, but doing them outside on patios, which
it's been part of the goal all along.
It has been. I think some of our dreams are finally coming to real life. This is Zack, the Brew Bus guy with Knox Brew Tours, hanging out, of course, as you already know, with my co-host.
Mama calls me Kevin.
That's right. And today for our Beer With, we're really excited to be hanging out with another wonderful brewer in our Knoxville beer community. We also have a interview crasher as well, a friend of the show. We'll get to that in a minute. But we are at Abridged Brewing Company over here in Bearden on their patio, hanging out with Josh Hill.
Hey,
how
guys.
you doing, Josh?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Absolutely,
What is
man.
your official title at Abridged?
Head brewer.
Head brewer.
Yeah, that's the official title.
Official title. Love it.
Right
Perfect.
on.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
No problem, guys.
And we're
Excited to do
also
it.
joined by a friend of the show.
That's right.
He's
Friend
been
of the
on a
program.
few times.
Started making it a habit to crash these every once in a while.
Yeah, Mr. Matt Malone, one of the wonderful bartenders, members of the team over at Alliance Brewing Company. Matt, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. How y'all doing?
Good. I know you're just here for the free beer, so.
Well, you caught me.
Your guys' is free. I didn't say his was.
That's awesome. That's perfect. Well, it is called Beer With for a reason.
Yes, it is.
What are we drinking on today, Josh?
You guys are drinking the Hills Pils. It's our classic Bohemian style Pilsner. Just Pilsner malt, a little carafoam, Saaz and Hallertau hops brewed in a traditional manner.
This is great because we talked about the Pilsner on the show last week,
Yep,
just
we
as
sure
a
did.
general Pilsner style.
Okay.
And so it's that nice summer.
Summer crusher.
I do
yeah.
think about summer when I think about a Pilsner, but also I would drink a Pilsner any day of the year.
Yeah, I think as brewers we'll probably all lean the same way and be like, oh, what do you want to drink? Light lager,
yeah.
Pilsner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me that Pilsner is the highest selling beer style in every country in the world.
For a reason.
Yeah.
Crispy boys, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crispy boy. And this is called the Hills Pils
Right.
because your name's Josh Hill.
That's it.
Keep it nice and simple.
It's kind of a jab at Marty Bellis and Smoky Mountain Brewery's Bellis Hellas. Yeah. Fun poke.
That's fun. Well, cheers. We'll
Cheers,
drink to
guys.
that.
Cheers, guys. I'm drinking water.
Ding,
That's
ding.
all right.
That's all right. We all need to take a break from time to time.
Right. Gotta
Mm.
hydrate.
It's got that nice little kind of biscuitiness to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It tastes. This is what beer tastes like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what your dad drank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but way better.
Well, yeah, it's not High Life.
Yeah, it's not highlight. So, how long have you been brewing? How long have you been in the brewing industry?
I've been in the brewing industry. This will be year 9. All local, all here in Knoxville. But before that, I was big into home brewing and stuff like that. But yeah, just a passion, and quit college and started making beer, man. I don't know if it was the best decision, but here I am.
Well, at least they're doing this.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good. It's
I hope this
a
isn't-
good Tuesday at noon.
I really hope this isn't the pinnacle of your career.
I hope not.
Hanging out with us, but we're having fun. So you started home brewing.
Right.
What got you into home brewing?
Got me into home brewing. I was in the military in Italy, and
Thank you for service.
yeah, oh, you're welcome, no problem. It was fun, but yeah, I just got bored and didn't have much to do over there, so I just decided, hey, I like beer. Let's try to make it, and this happened.
Was there a lot of supplies in Italy to make beer, or did you sort of have to bootstrap it a little bit?
Yeah, it was like Mr. Beer Kid starting out. But when
Okay.
I got back to the States is when it got real hot and heavy.
Real hot and heavy. Okay.
Yeah.
And that led to your first professional experience.
Yeah, my first professional experience was at Smoky Mountain Brewery in Turkey Creek. I worked there for 5 years, head brewer for 3 years at the Turkey Creek location.
Gotcha. And
Yeah.
then what led you to Abridged Beer Company?
I just wanted a little more freedom and be able to, express myself creatively and stuff like that. And I heard a little brew pub was open here in Bearden, and I just poked my head in one day and started accosting Jesse until he hired me. Wouldn't leave him alone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how long has the bridge been open now?
This is year 4 in July.
And you've been here since day one.
I've been here since day one, yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is I know Jesse is loves to brew as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
What has that been like to sort of to work for a brewer? You know, he's kind of the boss, but also you're the head brewer.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, we bounce ideas off of each other. You know, if I want to do something, he lets me do it. If he wants to do something, I'll be like, yeah, let's go. I'll do whatever recipe he wants to do.
You always hear this expression, like kind of like a player's coach.
Right.
You know, like a coach who was a player and like knows what the player's going through.
Yeah, like Tom Hanks in League of Their Own.
Yeah. And so I think about the dynamic because some breweries, someone wants to start a brewery but they're not a brewer, and sometimes people are brewers and want to start a brewery but they're not a business owner. It's like,
Right.
And Jesse's is both.
Yeah.
And so I was curious that dynamic of you guys in collaboration and stuff. But it sounds like it's wonderful.
Oh, it works great. Yeah, we haven't really butted heads too hard over anything, so
Yeah.
still here.
What beer do you feel like is your flagship? What beer represents Abridged Beer Company?
Toppy Rock Hazy IPA.
Yeah?
No doubt.
What
Yeah.
was that process like for brewing that beer, and did you anticipate or expect to get that beer to be so popular?
I think we all knew it was going to be popular. The hazy beers is what everybody's into, and it has been into for the past couple of years. So we knew we had to have one on the menu, and it took some trial and error to get it where it is, but it's changed throughout its life. But I think we've reached the point where it's not going to change anymore.
Not going to change anymore.
We're really happy with
So
it.
Josh, I got to tell you, just to clarify that is definitely your top beer for sure.
Yeah.
A couple from South Carolina came into Alliance this past weekend and got to talking to them where all they've been so far, yada, yada, yada. And the lady said, I want to get an IPA. And I'm asking her, you want more bitter West Coast style? Or you want, because we've got both on right now.
Yeah.
Without hesitation, she goes, I really like the Abridged Toppy Rock. And I'm like,
Okay.
I got you. I know exactly what you're looking for.
That's
then.
what she's
Okay.
looking
And that
for.
was exactly, so yes, I can confirm it's your top
We
beer.
sell so much of that. I mean, you won't ever walk into that brewery and not see it in the tank. It's always fermenting.
Yeah.
Right.
I know this because our office, at Knox Brew Tours, our office is at the basement of Last Days of Autumn.
Yeah.
And they always have the Part of My Garden IPA.
Always
on.
going,
That
yeah.
is- I think they have like 12 fermentation tanks, and like 6 of them have Part of My Garden.
I'd believe
That's
it.
a lot.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a lot.
It was- yeah.
A lot of hazy beer.
A lot of beer, so it's always fun though. So Toppy Rock's your highest selling beer, the one you all are the most known for.
Right.
What would be a beer that you feel like is maybe underrated, like something that you were really excited about and really proud about, but wasn't maybe talked about as much by the beer community?
I think a lot of our British Isle beers are low gravity, old school, like
Kinda
milds,
ESBs.
ESBs, milds, bitters. I think those beers are amazing. We're real proud of them. We also do those in a real traditional manner with all English hops and malt and stuff like that, and all English yeast, and they're just really minerally, like Burton on Trent style beers.
Yeah.
And I think they're great, but I just don't think they're appreciated.
Yeah, I've said for a couple years now that the most underrated beer at Crafty Bastard is their Knoxville Pride.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
it's
their
great.
ESB.
Yeah.
Right.
But people, Crafty's known for being so like out there and kind of outside the box. When people go to Crafty to get a pickle beer or a pine sprig beer or whatever, and then you give them a Knoxville Pride, which is so classic.
It's
and so-
delicious.
and they're like, "Oh, this is boring,"
Who made
May-
this?
Yeah, boring, but delicious. At the same time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing the same. I love that you guys
Yeah,
have.
so
some
we have
great
the pride of Bearden, which is a dig on Crafty. But
I love it. I love the camaraderie amongst the breweries.
Absolutely, everybody gets along.
Is that something that you feel like kept you in Knoxville when you were thinking about brewing professionally? I mean, how do you kind of fit in, feel like the beer community here is? in
Well, I
Knoxville?
mean, when I started in Knoxville, I didn't know anybody in the beer industry. I didn't know much about it. There wasn't very much around. There was Downtown Grill and Brewery, and there was Smoky Mountain Brewery,
Yeah.
and Saltworks.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't Saltworks. It was something before Saltworks.
Marble City.
Marble City,
Marble
yeah.
City
And
is
then
what it
there
was.
was Black Horse at one point too.
Black Horse, yeah, over here off of in Bearden as well.
in Western
Yeah.
Plaza.
Yeah, Western Plaza. That was it. That's all that was around. So I didn't really know anybody, but once I got into it, started talking to people, meeting people in the industry, and been close with everyone.
Yeah, it's been great. All right,
Yeah.
so this is Zach again, the Brew Bus guy with Mom Cosby Kevin,
Hello.
Matt from Alliance.
Hey.
We're sitting on the patio here with Josh Hill from Abridged Beer Company, head brewer,
Head brewer.
and having a beer. This is really living the dream, honestly. We posted on our Facebook page, which, by the way, if you ever have any questions, hit us up on our Facebook page. If you have any suggestions, people you want us to interview, song request, whatever, just hit us up. We'll always like to customize the show to the listeners. But we asked people if they had any questions, and we got a few good ones.
All right.
A few
Let's-
not so good ones, but we're
Hit
going to
me.
get them all answered. Dan Moyers asked, how do you manage time between full-blown productions, Abridged, and the Oak Room? Which one do you find taking up more of your time? And so you and I both know that question.
Yeah.
Dan's missing a little bit of information.
Right, yeah.
So tell people listening who have no idea anything about Abridged, what is the Oak Room?
The Oak Room is our American sour beer facility in Happy Holler, Knoxville. It's just a barrel room, We got some fooders in there and some fruiting tanks and obviously a kitchen and a bar. But there's no production equipment in the Oak Room. All the production that happens for the brewery and the Oak Room all happens here in Bearden. So everything that's brewed and ends up in those barrels is just transferred from the Bearden location in a plastic tank and goes directly into a barrel and just ages in there.
So it's kind of like the barrel is more or less just like a storage unit.
Yeah.
And you're keeping them all in one spot.
We're just keeping them all in one spot to
downtown.
make it easier for us.
But that's also part of the process because
Absolutely,
that beer is going to get a lot of character and flavor from those barrels.
It's going to sit in those barrels, from anywhere from 12 to 24 months before we even touch it.
How many times a week on average are y'all brewing?
Altogether, Oak Room and
Yeah.
here. Say right now we're starting to kick back up. It's starting to warm up.
Pre-COVID, what were you at?
Pre-COVID, 4 to 5 days a week.
And how many of those days were for the Oak Room specifically?
We'll say one day a week.
So usually you're 4 days a week you're brewing for beer for the brewery and 1 day is a
absolutely.
sour. Yeah, that makes sense. Matt, you look like you have a question. You got a question?
No, that's
No question.
fascinated. I was curious too, like honestly, as far as time split between the two, kind of what he said, like you said 4 to 1 basically.
Yeah, it's
so,
like a 4 to 1 thing.
Right. Super important question. Alex Rich, I don't know if you know who Alex.
I know that guy.
He wants to know what your go-to loadout is on Call of Duty Warzone.
He already knows. He just wants me to hear. He wants to hear me say it. All right. It's Garou with the Archangel, tack laser, no sights, stipple grip, 60-round clip with the MP7 as my secondary.
God, talk dirty to me. Man.
Matt, what's yours? I know you play Warzone.
I'm kind of all over the place. I kind of go off of having to do the various missions and stuff, so I kind of bounce back and forth between a few. HDR with a 3.4 scope on it for quick sniping.
Oh, there you go.
And the MP5, one of the God Gun loadouts for my secondary, and kind of run with that most
Running
of the time.
Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mama Calls Me Kevin and I have no idea what you're talking about. Or do you?
Vidya games.
Nunchucks,
That's
Walter PPK,
That's-
and an energy
Yeah.
sword.
And
from
an
Halo.
Adelat.
I'm
There you go.
silence PP7 and slaps only.
Don't act like you don't.
007, right?
Yeah.
Goldeneye.
Zach's on Warzone every once in a while with me. He runs around every once in a while.
Yeah. All about the prison. All right. We've digressed. If you have no idea what we're talking about, it's a video game. Check it out. YouTube it. All right. Matt Lambert wanted to know, when can we expect more junk variants? Before you answer, explain to anyone listening what he's asked. What are the junk variants he's referring
the junk
to?
variants are our barrel-aged imperial stouts that we do, and we'll pull them out of the barrel and we'll adjunct them with cinnamon, chocolate nibs, coffee, cinnamon, anything you can think of, we'll do that. But we haven't done one in a while. But good news, Matt, it's on its way, man.
All right.
Very soon.
Woo woo.
Woo,
Love
woo.
it.
Yeah.
Matt, Mama Calls, do you have any questions?
No,
No?
not that I can think of right now.
I like it.
I agree with everything that's been said, and yeah, we're good.
Terrific.
All right, last question for you before we head out. When you look back on the last 3 months, maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and you're talking to your friends or your family about the time that you were the head brewer of a brewery during a world pandemic,
Yeah.
what is something that you'll remember, that you'll think of? What is maybe a positive or just any part of the last 3 months that you feel like you'll remember for the rest of your life?
I mean, something I'll definitely think of is how, excuse me, our team, I don't think we wavered at all. I think we all kept, a strong mind and just kept looking to the future and tried not to really focus on the present, as it is bad. It's a terrible thing. There's a lot of stuff going on, but there's not much that we can do about it besides follow the guidelines, wear your mask, wash your hands, wear your gloves, be as, socially conscious as possible. But besides that, I just think I just thought we were a really good team and we really held together really well. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Great.
Speaking of,
I'll
what
drink
are
to
you
that.
guys up to right now as far as being back open to the public? What does that look like right now?
So we're doing we're doing the social distancing thing. We still do curbside, and we're doing outdoor and indoor seating, but we're all at 50% capacity, at least 6 feet between each table. More than it's more than 6 feet.
Right.
Everybody has to wear a mask, all that jazz. It's trying to keep.
Is that the same for the Oak Room facility as well? Is it?
Same. Yeah, we
Okay.
opened up the Oak Room. Last week I
Cool.
think.
Cool.
Where's the best place for people to get connected with Abridged Beer Company?
At the Brew Pub in Bearden. It's the best place. Come by, have a beer, have some food. We got great burgers and great everything.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Absolutely,
we really
guys.
appreciate it. You're always your time, and you make great beer. Your
Thank
team
you.
does a great job.
Appreciate it.
You can taste how much you guys care about your product and what you all are doing, and that it matters. And I know we're big fans of you at the show. So
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Appreciate
all right.
it.
Again, this is Zack, the Brew Bus guy, with Mama Calls Me Kevin, Matt, our resident interview crasher, and friend of the show, Josh Hill, head brewer at Abridged Beer Company. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We'll head back to the studio.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.